Imagine opening your front door to find a fluorescent pink notice slapped on it like a scarlet letter, demanding you tear down your own backyard sanctuary, or else. Now picture the smug HOA queen behind it, convinced her clipboard grants her divine right to rule, only to watch her empire crumble in a blaze of exposed lies and handcuffs. In the sun-dappled suburbs of Willow Creek, Virginia, a postcard-perfect neighborhood where manicured lawns hid a pressure cooker of petty tyrants, lived Alex Rivera, a 45-year-old software engineer who'd traded city chaos for what he thought was quiet freedom. Alex had bought his corner lot 5 years ago, drawn by the rolling hills and the promise of space to tinker in peace. But whispers had already started. That guy is sketchy, neighbors murmured over fences, egged on by baseless rumors that he'd dodged taxes or worse. All because his modern shed didn't match the colonial vibe. He heard the gossip at the local diner, felt the stares during evening walks. But Alex stayed silent, sipping his coffee and noting every sidelong glance with the precision of code debugging a glitchy app. One crisp autumn morning, as leaves crunched underfoot like brittle egos, Alex stepped out to grab his mail and spotted her, Brenda Hargrove, the HOA president, striding up his driveway like she owned the deed. She was a vision of suburban supremacy, crisp khakis, a pearl-studded blouse, and a smile that could curdle milk, clutching her ever-present tablet like a shield. "Mr. Rivera," she cooed, her voice dripping with feigned concern. "We've got a little issue here. Your structure out back, it's not up to code." Alex blinked, keeping his face neutral. "Code? Brenda, I'm not in the HOA. My property's independent, always has been." She tilted her head, that pitying look reserved for rule breakers. "Oh, honey. Visibility matters. It disrupts our community's harmony. Per Section 7.2. All external builds need approval to maintain aesthetic integrity." He almost chuckled at the absurdity, but instead crossed his arms. "Integrity? That's rich coming from folks who fine people for mismatched mailbox colors." Brenda's eyes narrowed behind her designer glasses. "This isn't a debate. Sign the acknowledgement, and we'll discuss a $300 fine. For the greater good. You understand." Alex pocketed the notice without a word, watching her retreat with that satisfied sway. Already plotting his quiet audit of every HOA bylaw she'd twisted like a pretzel. The rumors escalated overnight, as if Brenda had hit send on a neighborhood newsletter blast. By evening, Alex's phone buzzed with anonymous texts. "Heard you're fighting the HOA, troublemaker much?" At the grocery store, Mrs. Ellis from down the block whispered loudly to her friend, "That shed's probably hiding something illegal, why else fight back?" Alex bit his tongue, but inside, he was mapping connections. Brenda's husband owned the local real estate firm, and her board cronies included the town clerk's cousin. He spent that night poring over public records on his laptop, the glow illuminating his determined frown, uncovering how the HOA had quietly hiked fees to fund community enhancements that suspiciously lined pockets. The next day, Brenda returned with reinforcements, 2 board members flanking her like bodyguards, one snapping photos of his shed from the street. "We've documented the violation," she announced triumphantly. "If you don't comply, we'll escalate to liens." Alex leaned against his porch rail, voice steady. "Liens on what? Air rights? Last I checked, my land's mine." She huffed. "Don't be obtuse. We're preserving property values, for everyone." He smirked inwardly at her scripted righteousness, replying mildly, "Everyone except those who don't bow to your throne." As they left, he installed discreet security cams. Not out of paranoia, but patience, the kind that waits for fools to overplay their hand. Tension simmered like a pot about to boil over. And Brenda, sensing resistance, cranked up the heat. A week later, Alex found survey stakes hammered into his side yard. Red flags fluttering mockingly. "What's this?" he demanded when he caught a contractor mid-act. The guy shrugged. "HOA order, realigning boundaries for green space compliance." Alex yanked one out, dialing Brenda directly. "You can't just redraw maps on a whim." Her voice crackled over the line. Saccharine sweet. "Oh, Alex. It's all legal. Our attorney found a discrepancy in the old plats. Your lot was meant to be included, clerical error. You see. Sign the annexation waiver. And we'll waive the fine. Think of the perks: pool access, holiday events." He laughed outright this time. A dry bark. "Perks? Like your nephew's landscaping gigs that magically win every bid?" Silence stretched. Then she snapped. "That's slander. We'll see you in court if needed." That evening, the whispers turned vicious. Online forums buzzed with Alex Rivera's dodging dues, freeloader, planted by anonymous accounts traced back to board emails Alex had quietly hacked legally via public access requests. He didn't lash out. Instead, he contacted Elena Vasquez, an old college buddy now a sharp-tongued property lawyer with a knack for exposing bureaucratic BS. "Brenda's playing dirty," Elena said over video call, eyes gleaming. "But we've got the original deeds. Let's turn their error into their epitaph." Together, they unearthed forged signatures on the revised map, Brenda's handiwork, evident in the sloppy loops, and emails boasting about taming the outlier to boost resale values. Alex felt the first twinge of satisfaction, like debugging a virus that thought it was invincible. The powder keg ignited when Alex arrived home to find police lights flashing in his driveway. Brenda standing triumphant beside a squad car, arms crossed like a conquering general. Officer Jenkins, a burly vet with a no-nonsense mustache, stepped out. "Got a call about trespass and noncompliance," he grumbled. Brenda pounced. "Officer, this man's structure is a blight. He's refused fines, ignored notices, now he's contesting our rightful boundaries. Arrest him for obstruction." Jenkins eyed Alex. "That true?" Alex handed over his deed printouts calmly. "Not even close. She's the one staking my yard like it's a conquest." Brenda's face flushed, her polite mask cracking. "But the aesthetics. It devalues our homes, think of the children." Jenkins snorted, scanning the docs. "Lady, aesthetics ain't a crime. And this map? Looks fishy. You got proof it's legit?" She stammered. "Our board voted unanimously." Alex interjected smoothly. "Voted on fraud? Check the county filings, those signatures are as real as your community spirit." As Jenkins radioed for backup to verify, Brenda's composure shattered. She paced, muttering about ungrateful outsiders, her voice rising to a shrill pitch that echoed off the houses. Neighbors peeked from windows, drawn by the spectacle. Elena arrived minutes later, briefcase in hand, laying out the evidence: tampered plats, embezzled funds funneled to Brenda's family business, even a leaked memo where she bragged, "Once we annex, we'll fine him into submission, order restored." Jenkins whistled. "This ain't HOA business, this is criminal." Brenda's eyes widened in panic, her confidence struck faltering as cuffs clicked, first on a board member caught lurking. Then the threat loomed over her. Alex watched, a quiet grin forming, as her empire's facade crumbled in real time. The crowd murmuring in shocked delight. In the aftermath, as spring bloomed over Willow Creek like a fresh start. The fallout hit like a tidal wave of sweet justice. The DA's office swooped in. Armed with Alex's dossier and federal tips on mail fraud, those pink notices sent via post, masquerading as official writs. Brenda's trial was a circus. She took the stand in a demure suit, voice quivering with feigned remorse. "I was just upholding standards, for the neighborhood's sake." The prosecutor dismantled her with emails, "Screw the law, redraw and conquer." Jurors chuckled at the absurdity, one even rolling eyes during her tearful plea about maintaining harmony. Guilty on all counts: fraud, conspiracy, embezzlement. She got 3 years. Plus restitution that bankrupted her cushy life. The HOA dissolved in disgrace. Residents voting to scrap the bylaws for a looser co-op. Yard signs sprouting like weeds, "No more clipboard queens." Alex, once the slandered outsider, became the unlikely hero. Neighbors dropped by with beers and apologies, sharing stories of their own fines for unapproved bird feeders. He expanded his shed, adding solar panels just to thumb his nose, and advised the new group pro bono, ensuring no one ever wielded power like a weapon again. The ripples spread, state laws tightened HOA oversight, inspired by the scandal, and Alex's land stood as a beacon of quiet rebellion. But as the dust settled, he wondered aloud to Elena over coffee. Was it really about the shed? Or just fear of anything uncontrolled? Was Brenda the true villain for enforcing absurd rules? Or was Alex wrong for refusing to blend in? Or does the real blame lie with a system that lets petty tyrants play God?